You're listening to Civic Media. You can tune into any of our live shows on any radio station across the state with the Civic Media app. Find us in your phone's app store and listen anytime, anywhere. This is your WMDX Daily News Roundup for Mad Radio 92.7 FM and 1580 AM in Madison.
For 92.7 WMDX News, I'm Savannah Tomei Olson. More federal offices across Wisconsin may be closing, targeted by the Department of Government Efficiency. The new office, led by billionaire Elon Musk, had already released a list of at least 6 government offices to either be eliminated or reduced across the Badger State. Now there's a list of 16 of them, and 5 are in Madison. Musk's team is planning to close the Fish and Wildlife Service office, although the federal government was already planning to cancel that lease back in January. Also on the list, the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration office near Westtown Mall, something listed as Departmental Management IG, which may mean the Office of the Inspector General, but it says those 3 words, square footage, and a dollar amount, and that's it on the page. An office of the U.S. Food and Drug Administration on Regent Street, and the Federal Highway Administration office on Junction Road. Other leases terminated statewide include offices for U.S. attorneys, the Social Security Administration, and the Internal Revenue Service. The largest office on the closure list is the Bureau of Indian Affairs location in Ashland. They employ at least 40 employees there, and it's not clear whether they would keep their jobs. And if you saw a fight at a bar Saturday night in the town of Blooming Grove, the Dane County Sheriff's Office may want to talk to you. Deputies say there was a fight at Jerry's place that night, and the men involved took it outside. During that fight, they say one man stabbed another with a box cutter, and authorities only learned about the incident when the man who was hurt showed up at the hospital. Now his injuries are life-threatening. LaRon Smith Brookins was arrested for reckless injury, but the Dane County Sheriff's Office is asking for more witnesses. So if you were there, call the Sheriff's Office. And a Milwaukee school is currently closed because of lead contamination, and they have no idea when it'll open again. Stuart J. Waddles has more.
The Milwaukee Health Department recently found lead after testing in 4 MPS schools. As a result, Trowbridge School is closed, with students and staff sent elsewhere. MPS officials and the health department say they're working together to address the lead hazards.
Earlier this year, Governor Tony Evers lowered the threshold for lead poisoning. He approved a new emergency rule from the Department of Health Services that drops the threshold from 5 micrograms per deciliter to 3.5 micrograms. That brings the standards here in Wisconsin closer to recommendations from the CDC. It means more children exposed to lead will be eligible for services. The governor's budget proposal includes more than $145 million that would go toward PFAS and lead abatement across Wisconsin. No amount of lead is considered safe for children. And the city of Madison has been experimenting with a portion of State Street, and that experiment may continue. A big part of it, between basically the UW campus and Gorham Street, closed to vehicles at 3 p.m. on weekdays and 10 a.m. on weekends. That makes it a pedestrian mall where it's safe to walk in the road. The city added murals painted on the street and new benches and planters. They called it Flock to State and made the area flamingo-themed. The experiment officially ended in October, but city planners recommended it be extended for up to 3 years. And UW Health has been named the best hospital in Wisconsin. Newsweek released its annual Best Hospitals in the World rankings, putting UW Health at the top statewide and 27th in the nation. I'm Savannah Tomei Olson. This is 92.7 WMDX News.
Wisconsin gets the win. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. Men's college basketball. The Badgers beat the Gophers in Minnesota. Matt LePay on the Badgers Radio Network.
Inbounds pass to Tanjay. They'll let him dribble out the clock, and the Badgers make it 9 straight against Minnesota. Wisconsin had to work for it, but Greg Gard's team gets the job done as the Badgers win it by 7. Final score tonight, Wisconsin 74, Minnesota 67.
John Blackwell with 25 points. The Badgers 21 for 24 from the free throw line. That's the best in the nation. Greg Gard.
You get on the road, you find a way, and I thought we had some decent looks from 3. But the fact that we were able to really be solid with the ball in the second half and get to the free throw line was really important.
Marquette with a loss at UConn, 72-66. The Golden Eagles host number 6th ranked St. John's on Saturday. NBA, the Bucks over the short-handed Mavericks, 137-107. Giannis scoring his 20,000th career point.
20,000 points is obviously when I go on the court, I'm a competitor. I'm going to compete. That's who I am. I'm a fighter.
That's Giannis Antetokounmpo with Sports. I'm Mike Clemens.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. Valeria Baldwin says her husband Alex suffered so much guilt after accidentally shooting and killing someone on the set of the film Rust that he sank into such a depression he wanted to kill himself. The actor's wife says since the incident, he has had heart issues and multiple hospital stays. The information was revealed on the couple's reality show on TLC called The Baldwins. I'm not calling myself a hero, but now that I've informed you of this news, you don't have to watch The Baldwins. The Sound of Music turned 60 this week. It's a film pretty much beloved by all and is one of the top 10 grossing films of all time. Nevertheless, George Von Trapp, a.k.a. Christopher Plummer, was not a fan. According to the New York Post, Plummer complained constantly and thought the story was gooey, at one point referring to the title as The Sound of Mucus. A few years ago, star Julie Andrews shared that she felt Plummer was in over his head musically. Let's be honest, he probably just did the film for the do-re-mi. The tabloids love to stir up trouble and are continuing to do so following last week's Oscars broadcast. After Kieran Culkin won Best Supporting Actor for his role in A Real Pain, cameras caught Edward Norton, who also was nominated for his role in A Complete Unknown, leaning over and saying the F word to his wife. It's not 100% clear what he said, or if he was referring to the fact that he lost, or if he's the most awkward romantic ever. Margaret Qualley's star is on the rise after a small but star-making role in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and playing opposite Demi Moore in this year's Oscar-nominated The Substance. The world is pretty much her oyster. After a really unnecessary James Bond music tribute at the Oscars last week, which happened just in time as Bond was killed off 2 years ago, fans are now saying they hope the daughter of Andy McDowell becomes a Bond girl. Quite a leap. If you're heading to the theater this weekend while the snow melts, here are some moving pictures you might enjoy, especially if you're into sci-fi. Opening in wide release is Mickey 17. It's being called a sci-fi, comedy, drama, mystery, thriller. It covers a lot of bases. I think the only genre they're missing is adult film. The movie stars Robert Pattinson, who plays an expendable on a dangerous mission to colonize a planet covered with ice. The film is getting mad love from critics with an 87% and certified fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Another new sci-fi film that hits theaters, In the Lost Land, stars Mila Jovovich and David Bautista. The film is about a queen who sends a sorceress into forbidden lands to find magical powers, kind of a necessity in the sorcery game. It's a nice cast and sounds fun, but is batting about a 50% with just a handful of reviews in. If science fiction isn't your thing, there are still lots of leftovers in the theaters from the last couple weeks, and most Oscar films are available to stream. For more showbiz fun, tune in to Nightlight with me, Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Mostly sunny, and it is not going to be as windy today. We'll get to around 41 for a high with wind. Northwest at 10 to 20 this morning, decreasing to 5 to 10 later this afternoon. Tonight, 27. Could see a few flurries or a little light snow tomorrow morning. Then clearing tomorrow, 36. We're back to 44 by Saturday. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable. Temperature now 24.
That's your WMDX Daily News Roundup from Civic Media. Subscribe to this podcast on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you find your podcasts. Find more news at mad.radio. The national news cycle never stops, but it can be hard to find news about your local community. Civic Media is dedicated to providing quality local and state news coverage across Wisconsin. With the Civic Media app, you can get notifications about local stories that matter to you and your community. Find the free Civic Media app in your phone's app store and choose notifications from the menu to tell us what kind of news you want to hear about.